Madden 24 is just around the corner, and right now is the perfect time to dial in the fundamentals of being a passer of the football in Madden. Now, the footage here is going to be from Madden 23, but everything we break down will build on your ability to play quarterback and understand how to attack defenses in any game of Madden you will ever play. So I'm going to break down the 5 most common coverages you will face, and I'll give you the concepts that can be used in any scheme or in any playbook to attack each one. Then I will show you how you can bomb each one of these coverages for huge explosive gains down the field. The first defense we will look at is cover 3. This is the most common zone defense you will face, and it will consist of 3 deep zone defenders with 2 corners and 1 middle safety. Then it will have 2 hooks underneath and 2 flat players. There are 3 main weaknesses I try to exploit in this defense, with the first being the flat defender. We can use a flood concept to high-low this player and put him in a no-win situation. So a flood concept will consist of a run-off route from your receiver pulling back the deep blue defender. Then we will have a flat route and a corner route or a deep out route, and these 2 routes are designed to put the flat defender in conflict where he cannot win. If he stays down on the flat, then you can just throw the corner or the out route in over his head for a big gain. Then if the flat defender stays back, then you can fire it down into the flat and rack catch it and make a play in the open field. Then there's a third element in a flood concept, and that is if we can get the user to leave the middle of the field to try to take away the corner route, then we want to have a deep dig or a deep post attacking the middle of the field and replacing where the user was. Then the next weakness we want to exploit in cover 3s are the seams. This is the space in between the safety and the corner, and this is one of the easiest way to pick up yards against cover 3. Here we want our slot receiver from either a 2x2 or a 3x1 set to get vertical down the seam of their defense. Then we want 2 more vertical routes, 1 on each side of the ball, holding out the safety in the corner, allowing to get this player into the weak point in their coverage for a big pickup. Then the third weakness is the inability to cover the middle of the field while taking away the deep and shallow flat, and a concept we can use here is either a slot or a Y cross. This involves a crossing route going from one side of the field to the other with a clear out route, a check down, and then a backside dig or post attacking the middle. This works because the crosser in the flat route will put the flat defender in a bind, and if he stays shallow, you can throw it in over his head. Then if the user leaves the middle to run with the crosser, now we can take advantage of the middle of the field with this backside dig, leaving them with no good options. Then having ways to exploit defenses if they sit in one coverage is absolutely crucial. So I want to show you how you can hit each one of these coverages over the top, starting with cover 3. Now there are 3 main elements to a cover 3 bomb. First, you have a deep post. Then on the same side of the ball, you need a streak on the inside to hold that middle safety back. Then lastly, most of the time you need a route to hold down the deep third like a cornerback or a comeback. And once this post clears the safety, you can bomb them over the top for a huge pickup against cover 3. Then with a cover 4 drop defense, this will have 4 deep zone defenders with 2 corners and 2 safeties, each splitting the field into a deep quarter. Then just like cover 3, it will have 2 hooks over the middle and then 2 flat defenders. Now I want to attack cover 4 in similar ways to cover 3, but there are 3 main differences, with the first being now they will be able to take away the seams. They will have a safety sitting right there in this alley, so these plays are no longer viable. Next, we can still run either flood or Y cross concepts, but there is another big factor to keep in mind. Here, if we try to run this with a clear out from our inline tight end, then the deep outside corner will actually not be run off, and he will be right there sitting on that crosser to either break it up or pick it off. But if you run the same concept, but now we have a split out receiver as the runoff player, now the deep outside corner is forced to turn and run with this vertical route and vacating this deep area of the field for our cross to come into and allow us to pick up a huge gain. Then same as cover 3, if we can get the user to leave and take that crosser, then he will only have 1 hook over the middle, leaving this as a weak point of their defense to take advantage of. Then the third big difference with cover 4 is now they will be only rushing 3 players compared to a cover 3 where they rush 4. So now you can comfortably send all 5 of your receivers out on routes and be confident that you will have time to push the ball down the field and hit a big play. Then to bomb cover 4, there are some key elements once again, and we want to have a deep post, but this time on the opposite side of the field, we want a deep crosser. This will hold down the backside safety and the cornerback, and then once the post is in behind them, you can let it fly for a huge explosive gain down the field against cover 4 drop. Next, we're looking at cover 2, and this will have 2 deep defenders with the 2 safeties splitting the field into deep halves. Then you will have 3 hook defenders with 2 vert hooks and 1 mid read who will play in between a hook and a deep defender. Then you will have your 2 outside corners in flats. Now once again, there are 3 ways I like to attack cover 2 to take advantage of its weaknesses. First is to high-low the flat defender, and my favorite concept here is called spot. This creates a triangle read, and our key player here is you want to read the corner. And if after the snap he jumps down to the running back in the flat, then we have the corner route, and you can fire this in along the sideline sideline before the safety can come down and make a play. Then if the corner is getting depth at the snap, then we can have this running back in the flat, and you can just drop this down to him and just let him make a play with the ball in the open field. Then if at the snap they switch up their coverage or the hooks are all dropping out, then you can throw this spot route over the middle, and this is a great third leg of this triangle read. The next weakness in cover 2 is the hole between the two safeties. So I like this play, flood HB swing. It is a great way to attack cover 3 or cover 4, and we can get this running back down the seam for a big gain. But if after the snap I realize they aren't playing cover 3 or 4, they actually switch to cover 2, then I have this built-in way to exploit it with this deep post. I want to have a comeback on the backside that is going to hold out the deep safety, then this deep post will cross the other safety's face, and then you can bomb them over the top for a huge gain. So having plays that are built to attack cover 3 or cover 4, but having an alert to a cover bomb built in is one of the best ways to attack cover 2. The next big weakness of cover 2 is the area between the safety and the corner in along the sideline. Now this is called a hole shot. Now we can attack this in a few ways. Like in this play, I have my slot running this wheel route, then I have a clear out route, and as I drop back, you will see your wheel will get outside and behind the flat defender completely untouched, and you just want to make sure you pass lead this away from the safety. Then another concept I love, and this can bomb cover 2 in that hole, is the slot fade. Here you want to make sure your number 1 receiver stays shallow like on a slant, then the inside slot is on a streak, and now when you drop back, your slot fade will get outside and behind the flat defender completely untouched, and the safety will get held inside, and now you can bomb them up along the sideline for an absolutely huge pickup, making them pay if they're sitting in cover 2. Then with Madden 24 just around the corner, this is the perfect time to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Over this summer, I did a redesign of the site to make it much easier to find everything you need, and there's a new section called Madden Skill Builder with a bunch of videos in it designed to help you improve in the fundamentals of Madden, and really checking out all the videos in this area is the perfect way to prep for the launch of Madden 24. And I have new playlists at the bottom of this section where you can binge watch a ton of videos all breaking down a certain skill building topic. Then there's a brand new video up today on the site where I look at all the different areas of the field and what routes you need to attack them, and I go over how using the right spacing in these areas of the field will make you a much better passer, and this video can be found in the new skill builder section. Then also on the site there's a new area where you can find all my schemes for Madden 23, and this is where the first schemes for Madden 24 will be found once they are released at the start of the year. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I'm actually running my Madden 24 launch sale, and it starts today and runs until August 26th. Use code M24 at checkout for 50% off your first month. Now to attack man coverage, and first I want to break it down in a broad sense, and I think one of the most overlooked aspects is picking the right formations, and I think two of the best are bunches or stacks. These will allow you to create natural pick plays because all your receivers start so close, and this will cause DBs and receivers to bump into each other, and then we can get receivers wide open as they break out of the mess for easy separation and big pickups. Then these can also allow you to get free releases when they try to press your receivers. Now they won't be able to get hands on you, and you can get down the field unopposed to make plays in the open field. Then these formations also will give you access to unique routes that cannot be found anywhere else, and you can scheme these up to hit big plays against your opponent in ways they have never seen before. So a zero-man blitz means they will be leaving everyone on the field in singled up man-to-man, and then everyone else on the defense is blitzing. Now to beat these defenses, you need to be able to process quickly and get the ball out to open players as fast as possible. But the key here is, how do you get these players open before the blitz can come home? Now my favorite player to use to beat these looks is to use my tight end. I want to put short in a lead on this player, and he can be your most reliable dynamic zero blitz beating weapon. These players are great because they can't be pressed, they will always get a free release up the field, and now they can have a two-way go, and as long as you have short in elite, you will get easy separation as he breaks. Now my favorite route to use with your tight end are corner routes. Find ones that break within 10 yards, and you can attack the sideline and keep the ball away from the user for big pickups. And for most of these corner routes, they will break before the zero blitz is able to come in, so you can fire it deep down the field where they have no help, and these are my go-to way to beat the zero-man blitz. Then I also want to use unbumpable routes, and this play deep cross in the Saints is a perfect example of what we can accomplish. Now, the first key is motion. This play has an auto motion that has the receiver running down the line of scrimmage, and this allows him to get a free release every single time, and he cannot be bumped. And now he has speed coming across the field, and his defender
has absolutely no shot of keeping up with them. Then on this same play, we have this inside breaking streak route. As the cornerback tries to jam him, he will completely miss, and this streak will get wide open, leaving the cornerback in the dust for a huge play. Now, my favorite way to make people pay if they sit in these zero-man blitzes is to have one play touchdown specifically designed to bomb these defenses over the top. Now, first we have crosses in the Chiefs playbook, and this post route, when motioned over, will become a corner route and will be completely unbumpable. You will leave any type of man coverage in the dust, and you can bomb them over the top for easy walk-in touchdowns if they have no safety over the top. Then we have the play levels out of my Saints scheme, and here the cornerback is actually going to press the wrong player, allowing the back player to be completely free streaking down the field, and this is going to make them pay if they sit in those zero-man blitzes. Then we have the other most popular man D right now, and that is cover 2 man. This will be man across the board, but now they will have 2 safeties back, and they will be only rushing 4. Then I really want to attack 3 areas of the field, and the first is the sideline. We can throw corner routes and outbreakers away from the safeties and fire it in before they can make a play on the ball. Then I want to attack the middle of the field, and we can pull one safety out, and then we can have a deep post breaking in from the other side of the field, attacking the middle hole in their defense, and this is a great way to hit some big chunk plays down the field. Then lastly, I like to have late breaking routes over the middle. So if everything is covered deep, I want to have routes attacking the shallow middle of the field. So after everyone is run off, then we can just drop this ball off to the player attacking the middle of the field and let them make a play in space.
Now, having concepts to beat all these coverages is great, but to use them to their full potential, you want a scheme that is going to have all these concepts in it and gives you a plan to attack every defense you face. And there is no better place to start than my golden era offense, where I break down some of the most historic offenses of all time in the 1980s and the 1990s. If you want to check out the playlist for that scheme, you can find it right here.